Hey guys, Laurel here and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my first casual sort of chit-chat kind of video. Normally my videos on this channel are much more staged and I've got the camera on the tripod and all those sorts of things, but today I just wanted to have a quick little chat with you guys about something that's sort of completely different than what you usually see on my channel. So I thought I would just keep it a little bit more casual and just chat with you guys for a bit. So as you would have seen by the title already, I wanted to talk a little bit about our family's educational background and sort of how we go about schooling our kids. If you watch our vlog channel, which has been sadly lacking in updates the past little while, you probably know that Oliver goes to public elementary school, but he is in the French immersion system. And for anyone who doesn't know what that means, they start French immersion in senior kindergarten. So he goes to regular English junior kindergarten, and then in senior kindergarten, they start with the French immersion program. If they want, the school is both English and French immersion. And they do 100% of their schooling in French. And the percentage changes as the children advance through the grades. And I think by grade 8, they're down to about 40 or 50% French. And the reason for that is just because in subjects like math and geography, it's a little bit harder to do those in French. And while they do learn them in French, they also need to be able to do them in English, if that makes sense. So my understanding is they sort of alternate throughout the years which subjects are English and which are French, and they kind of get a good grasp of most of the subjects in both languages. And then by the time they finish grade 8, they're almost bilingual. Like, they are very, very advanced in their French education, and they can continue to do French immersion throughout high school, or they can switch to English stream and just do core French. Whatever they prefer. Anyway, so I just thought I would start with that because anyone who has come from our vlog channel would have already known that about Oliver, and that's how he does his schooling right now. Of course, if at any time the French immersion isn't working for him, he wants to switch to English, that is perfectly okay with us. It was just something that we felt was important for him to give a try, and because it provides so many opportunities and benefits in their lives if they're able to continue with the French curriculum. Before Oliver started French immersion, he did regular junior kindergarten, and he actually was homeschooled part-time, which is something that people on our vlogging channel wouldn't know because we started vlogging like a week before Oliver started senior kindergarten. So for the last half of junior kindergarten, I took Oliver out of school for 1 day a week and I homeschooled him, and actually I technically unschooled him. Basically what I was trying to do was give him a little break throughout the week because he seemed to be having trouble with his energy levels and with his behavior and just a couple different things that I thought I could maybe improve upon if he had a little bit more time at home with me, a little bit more downtime, a little bit more exercise and fresh air, and just a whole lot of reasons basically that I thought this would be beneficial for him. And it really was. His behavior and his energy levels totally changed when we started doing this. And he absolutely loved it, and I loved it. So some of the things that we did were, we went to the grocery store and I taught him about budgeting and about how to read the price tags and those sorts of things. Keeping in mind he was only 4.5, so I was teaching him things at his understanding level, but trying to teach him various life skills while still following his interests. We learned how to take the bus, which he thought was so cool. We went on a tour of the police station and the jail, We went to the zoo. We did different walks around downtown and at the beach and to different parks, and he learned about geography, and he actually became really, really good at the geography of our town and was actually able to lead me to different places to get us home from different areas of our town, and it was actually really impressive. He's very, very good with directions and that sort of thing. So he learned all kinds of different things with me, and we really enjoyed that time together. And I had Reid with me too, of course, because he stays home with me. He was mostly in the baby carrier and just along for the ride and enjoying what we were doing. So that was something that worked really well for us, that Oliver really loved. Previous to his actual schooling, he was home with me for a year, and before that he was in daycare. He was in daycare from 14 months to 2.5. So while he was in daycare, he did a lot of his learning of colors and numbers and letters and shapes and all of those early learning skills. Of course, we were reinforcing them at home, and he was learning with us as well, but he learned a lot of those things at daycare. He had a really wonderful daycare provider, and it was a great atmosphere for him. When he started staying home with me, we of course continued to work on those things, and he also learned a lot of life skills because his baby brother Reid arrived, and he learned all about changing diapers and feeding babies, and he had a lot of fun playing with him and teaching Reid to do things. So that was a wonderful learning experience for him as well. So basically, I'm just giving you this overview of Oliver's educational history so that I can jump into what I want to now talk about, which is our plans for Reid's education. So Reid is 2.5. He has always been home with me. He never went to daycare. He hasn't even really been to a lot of play centers or on play dates, which Oliver did a lot more of, because I still haven't made a ton of mama friends since we moved to the town here, and I also don't have a vehicle during the day, so we can't get up to the different play centers and that sort of thing very easily. But I will be getting a vehicle next month because we need a van to fit our third little baby on the way in, so that will be very exciting, that we'll actually be able to get out to places that we weren't able to walk to before and go on some adventures. So our plans for Reid, we would love for him to do French immersion just like Ollie is. Of course, we'll revisit that 2 years from now when he would need to be registered for the following September. See how he does in junior kindergarten and all of those sorts of things. But until he goes to junior kindergarten, which is a whole 1.5 years from now, I need to get started with a basic preschool sort of curriculum. I think that kids that go to daycare or preschool are really well prepared for junior kindergarten. And I think that a lot of times kids who stay home, if they haven't had any sort of intentional learning other than what they just learned through play, I think sometimes those children can be at a bit of a disadvantage. Of course, that's not the case for everybody. Every child is different, every family is different, and whatever works for your child is wonderful for you and your family. But in my opinion, I like my children to be prepared. I like them to know as much as they can before they start junior kindergarten. Oliver knew, I would say, most of what they learned in the first few months for sure. And I think because of that, that provided him a really good foundation for how quickly he learned to read, and as well how prepared he was for the French immersion program. So this has been a really long chat just to say that I'm going to start doing homeschool preschool with Reid. So he's 2.5 now, and I want to get a very, very basic curriculum, if you can call it that, and schedule going now before the baby arrives. Because if I wait to start in September when the typical school year starts, it won't happen, because I'll have a 1-month-old and it won't happen. So my plan is to get started now, and I think it's actually great timing because in a couple weeks Oliver has his March break or spring break, and he will be able to help me facilitate some of these things with Reid at home, which will be wonderful, and it'll be nice to have Oliver's influence and for Reid to see that learning is fun and that it's something that everybody does and all those sorts of things. So my plans are to go through the sort of preschool activities and supplies that I have right now from Oliver and just from the boys' regular toys and books and all of that sort of stuff. I'm gonna go through that now after I talk to you guys. And then I'm gonna hit up the dollar store and Walmart and pick up anything that I need to get. And I think what I will do once I've done that is I will film another sit-down video for you guys with maybe like a mini haul and talking about all my supplies that I have and my plans for Reid's little curriculum. So basically I just wanted to have this little chat with you guys and talk to you about what we're planning on doing, and I would love any tips that you guys have for homeschooling toddlers. Please leave them in the comments below. I definitely am new to this because while of course we did all these learning activities with Oliver, he already was getting such a good foundation from his daycare at this age. So I'm really interested to see what you guys have in terms of tips and suggestions, and I look forward to following up with my haul and curriculum video very shortly for you guys. So thanks for stopping by today and watching the video, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.